Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ref the District. I'm Nathan. That's the Stoner, and that's Trev. And I've got those backwards, but that doesn't matter. We're here to you as we are every Wednesday at 7:30 on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And then you can catch us right afterwards on your favorite audio platforms. And, do I see something down there?
Where?
Hold on. I see something. I see like a new ad or something down there.
What is that?
It's definitely not body hair. I know that.
You're right. It absolutely is not body hair. That's right. Your boys are now supported by Manscaped. We're brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below the waist grooming. Precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's performance package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join the three of us and over 6 million men worldwide. Stoner, how many balls is that?
Well, if you count, if Lance Armstrong is counted in there, then it's probably 11,999.
There you go.
Well, you can trust those about 12 million, 11
million,
999,999. You can trust all of those, all those balls there with Manscaped. All right. Exclusive offer for you right now. You can get 20% off free worldwide shipping with the code REF at manscaped.com. All right, guys, they have some amazing stuff. They sent us some of this stuff, and we're not just going to shell it out to you if we didn't believe in it.
Yep.
Right? Have you guys tried it out? Because I tried everything out. You guys are rocking the shirts right now.
Oh yeah,
but I mean they have the performance package has some really good stuff in here, right? It's a game changer. How about that lawnmower 4.0 trimmer?
Ooh. I got the lawnmower right here. Yeah, Trev's got his. And as a user of lawnmower equipment in the past, this is by far the best ever used, and it comes like with the different sizes, right? Oh, I'll do the same thing.
Trev's trying it out right here on airway.
It comes with the different sizes. When you're mowing the lawn, I would suggest using one of the guards. But however, absolutely. if you're trying to smooth things out, then you might want to take the guard off.
There you go.
So I've always been nervous, about sharp objects near that part of my body.
Sure.
With this lawnmower,
you can do it with your eyes closed.
It was great. It was nice. It was smooth sailing.
It was smooth sailing.
It was pretty nice there. It also comes with the weed whacker, right?
Yeah. For your nose hairs.
You and I are getting a little older up there, and we're having ears sprout out or hair sprouting out in areas that it wasn't sprouting out beforehand. Right?
It's insane how fast those areas grow, right? How fast in the ear and on the edges of the ear. I mean, it grows faster than the hair in your head. And just all of a sudden you'll look and you'll have one that's like 4 inches long, and you're going, how come I haven't seen that for like a month or whatever? Right, you'll get there, Trev. Don't worry.
You're not too far behind us on that one, Trev.
Okay.
One of the other things in this package that I was really impressed with is the Crop Preserver ball deodorant.
That's this right here.
I didn't realize how nice that would be. We get ourselves into some pretty sweaty situations here watching the Washington Commanders. And I tell you what,
in fact,
this is really nice. Yeah,
I might use some.
Are you
right
gonna?
Now.
Hold on.
Stoner's going to use it on air here.
Oh,
look at that! Is it moving, Stoner? Is it moving?
Right.
It's feeling pretty good.
That lawnmower, by the way, it's waterproof. It has an LED spotlight, so that way you can get that precise, shave there.
Yeah, we got to get up for a midnight snack, stop in the bathroom, and do a midnight shave.
The package also comes with some boxer briefs, some performance boxer briefs.
Yeah, those are
super comfortable. Yeah. They are really nice. That shirt's nice. Like the whole kit, you got to make sure that you get it. If you don't use the deodorant, don't worry. You also got some toner there. Keep yourself fresh. All that's really good. All this, by the way, is going to get 20% off free shipping with the code REF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code REF. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right, I'm happy with that partnership. We will be talking more about that later. We will have more sponsorship stuff there. We do appreciate everybody in the chat here with the shout outs on that. We appreciate it. We got Commandalorian. We got Doug EP in the house. Mike Lee. Shady Katie's going to be joining us a little bit later. She's in the chat right now. Steven as well. P4 Box and Rockman. Mama Stores rolling her eyes at her boys.
Oh, Mama Stores.
Making her
I haven't seen
making
Mama
a fool of
Stores in a
ourselves.
while.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. This is not a commando stream, Commandalorian, but if you wanted to, Manscaped's the way to go. That's how you rock it there. Shout out to DMV Mess Hall with us on this as well. I tell you what, we do have a great show with you. It's not just about the sponsorship, right, guys? It's fun. We appreciate Manscaped believing in us. Make sure you use that code to show that you believe in us as well. I'm telling you, I would not be talking about Manscaped if I haven't used it myself, if I didn't believe in their products. It is really comfortable. Okay.
But behind the scenes, a little look behind the scenes is we've had other sponsorship opportunities that we've turned down because we did not believe in the product.
There you go.
We believe in this product. We're very happy with it. We love the sponsorship. And please, it's getting to be Christmas time. Ladies, take care of your man. 20% off at manscaped.com. Using the code REF, REF. That obviously
Fellas,
is our special code. That's
You
REF. R is in ref. E is in F. And F is in F.
there you
Okay?
go.
REF. So please do that coming up here for the holidays. And fellas, just go ahead.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Self-appreciation. You don't need no lady to do that for you.
And there may be truth. I don't know if this rumor is true. I don't know if this is coincidence or not. But at the same time, we got this sponsorship with Manscaped.
Yeah.
My wife is coming home from overseas for the first time in 2 years. I don't know if that's coincidence.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
He won't have a bush or a tree down there when.
Oh Lord!
Oh Lord! All right, sorry. Let's move on.
Let's
Is
get
this
back.
a football show? I mean,
This
we can
is
turn
a
it to
football show.
A male grooming show on Wednesdays if we want. You know, I mean,
Well, we got a lot of football to talk about because
Yeah, man.
it is Dallas week. All right. Whether or not you believe it or not, that is going to be a question I'll have for later. But we do have a lot to talk about. In the cool down, we'll be bringing you our famous Dollar, but we're also going to be talking about Rick Snyder's comments on the coaching staff. Does Ron no longer have that sense of urgency? That's coming from Rick Snyder. He knows what he's talking about. I was really surprised when he pushed out that video during the game. Of course, we're going to be talking about the I hate to say their name, the Dallas Cowboys, but we will be talking about them during the game because that is the game. And Shady Katie is going to be joining us for that one as well. We'll also go over the injury report from today. Stoner's sharing a tweet from us. Apparently, Shady's got some graphics to discuss as well. And then here in the warm up, we want to talk about Trev's experience at the Philly game. Let's close that up because you personally went there, Trev.
yeah, yes, I did.
And, I would like to say that you had a good time.
I did.
Good.
I did.
Maybe not the result we wanted to see.
No, the game sucked, but the experience was everything. Got there around 9:30 in the morning with one of my bros here who's an Eagles fan. Met one of my other bros from childhood who moved to Maryland area. He's an Eagles fan and all his buddies. Got to the red zone lot. That's where everybody is. That's where the hog farmers and all the Commanders fans and the popular lot to tailgate. It's a lot you want to be at. There's a whole party there. There's a thing called Commanders Corner Tailgate. You got to vote if Carson Wentz is going to beat the team he was drafted by. Yes or no. Didn't matter. You got a free shot, spun a wheel, and got some gear. So I got this Commanders bracelet from them.
Oh, look at that.
I gave out, and I got a koozie in the other room too as well, Commander koozie as well. So that was pretty good. Man, oh man, it was on club level, so that was nice. The club level difference, like the concession stand area, is a huge difference in the lower level.
It's really nice.
it's
It is
really
really
nice.
nice,
It's all TVs, high top tables, chairs, lounges everywhere. Like it's really, really nice. But man, don't go to a Philly game at home if Carson Wentz is your quarterback, because I tell you what, yes, every team invades our stadium. We all know that. But this past Sunday, Carson Wentz is our quarterback. It felt like a Philly home game.
Yeah.
I saw maybe 5,000 Commanders fans, and then the rest was Philly fans.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone does invade, but this year when they have something to invade for, besides it being a rivalry, they really show out. I mean, it felt like our team was booing our own team when they ran out of the tunnel for introductions. It was just like, what? And of course, I was in the plethora of Philadelphia Eagle fans.
Yeah.
But they were the nicest Philadelphia Eagle fans I've ever met in my entire life outside of my friends. They were nice. They said, look me up if you come to Philly, yada, yada, yada. I was trying to leave at halftime. I went to go get up, and one grabbed my leg and said, "You're not going anywhere." Just like that. So that was cool. But yeah, it was nice. I mean, the stadium, they got all like the hallways and stuff are directed with new Commander stuff, and they've got new graffiti and stuff everywhere. And the experience is just really good. Everybody was, I mean, we all know we suck, but you couldn't tell that day because everybody had a great time at the tailgate. Everybody had a great time during the game. I had no personal drama. I think I saw a little scuffle in the stands at the lower level, but it wasn't anything crazy. I don't know if it was 50-50. I saw this common metaphor. I think it was more like 75-25, bro. That place was green.
Well, it was certainly green by the end. Probably by halftime, it really cleared out of a lot of burgundy and gold.
Yeah, I mean that's normal. They don't have anywhere to go. I mean, they do. They got home, but the locals are just like, I've seen this before. I'm ready. I'm going home. I'm going to beat traffic. Whereas the others, they're there to party. They've set aside that time to come all the way down here, not all the way, but to come down here.
And why would you leave early anyways? If your team's up, extend that party, have a good time there.
If Washington was 2-0 coming into the game and Philly was 1-2, it wouldn't have been that bad. It would have been plenty of Eagles fans. Don't get me wrong.
For sure. Like
always. It would not have been that bad. Again, we say it every show. If you win, all that stuff goes away.
And just honestly, the fact that we have Carson Wentz as our quarterback, that's literally also
it was a lot.
I mean, the billboard and everything. We're coming for you, Carson, and all this and that. And I don't know, just by the way Carson played on the field, it looked like he was definitely rattled by the emotions of the game. Like, his old team coming to town. He kind of played how you expect if we went to Philly and played instead of them coming here. So it's kind of scary the way he's going to perform when we go to Philly and that atmosphere, because the way he performed this Sunday with all the fans there. But great experience. Shout out Jen Leno one time again. She hooked me up with the parking pass. Awesome. Tried to hook me up with the Legends pass, but it didn't work out. But it's no big deal. No harm, no foul. But shout out to Jen Leno. She's great. Always looking out. The red zone lots is the best place to be. So yeah.
All right, so here's the big question, Trev.
What's up?
Knowing what you know now, everything that went on with the game itself, would you go back in time? Would you do it again?
Yeah.
Would you make that trip and have that experience?
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. It's once in a lifetime. I mean, the game sucked 24-0. Like, I was like, oh my God, I came all the way 3 hours to see this. I could just stay at home in my living room and watch this. But it's the experience. Like, you get to see like your childhood heroes or like your passion right in front of you, no matter if it's good or bad. You get to see them play, like see behind the scenes stuff, how like you don't get to see on TV, like how they react on the sideline, how they react to each other, like during the timeout, like they're dapping each other up and hugging each other, catching up on the field. Like you don't see that on TV because it's during a commercial. So it's like all the intangible stuff that you get at a live game is really good. I want to go to the Titans game after this one just because of the experience I had this past one. And it's breast cancer month. So my mother's a breast cancer survivor and they're doing some things with that. So
why not?
Whatever for that. But yeah, I definitely was. I had a great time, even though the game itself was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah,
the uniforms in person.
Oh, the uniforms in person are some really good stuff.
They're fire, aren't they?
Seeing those during the preseason, that was something else here. Gus Bus, once in a lifetime. So Trev, I don't want to put words in your mouth. You can correct me if I'm wrong here, but there's going to be more Philadelphia games, sure. But like this is the first Commanders game against an NFC East opponent. You're not going to see that again, right? This is Carson Wentz's first game against Philadelphia as a Washington Commander. Those things, you're not going to repeat. Hopefully you don't repeat 24-8 either.
No,
but
and some people don't even get the chance to go to a game at all. So I think it's also, if you get a chance to go, no matter if it's 24-8, us or them, it's a once in a lifetime experience because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So
it's one of those things that we've talked about this, especially like with the new stadium and everything. We want these games to be affordable, so that way you can go, right. So it's not it should be an experience that everybody has the opportunity to go to, and it shouldn't be just for people who are well off. And I think that's one of those things that does kind of scare away, the fans of Washington, right? Like if you're here in the area spending, for a family, we'll say of 4, spending like $400 if at minimum to go to the game, that's a lot, right? And I talked with Steve actually when we were out at the preseason game. He was able to score some club level seats at pretty cheap, but I mean, with his family, you're talking, that's still like $300+ to go to a game. That was and that was preseason game too, right? So that's a lot. You can justify that as an away fan because like you said, Stoner, right? You're making a party out of it, right? You're coming down, you're doing this as a big trip. You can go see, how many fans stay for like the weekend, right? And then they'll travel DC, right? A lot of people talk about Washington as a transient city, but it's more than that. It's a tourist city, right? It's some place that people actually want to travel to and can make more than just a football game out of it, right? It's not like Buffalo,
it's an experience.
Where you're going to go up to Buffalo for buffalo wings and the Buffalo game, right? That's about it, right? Detroit, I'm sorry, but you just don't have a lot going on for you outside of the football game, right? People aren't going to go see the unfortunate rundown parts of the city anymore. That's just not what you're doing.
You're going to see, I was going to say, you're going to see a lot of people, a lot of Commanders fans in Dallas this weekend. It's not going to be 25K, but you're going to see a large group because of all those things you just said. Fans like to travel to other games to experience that, what's going on over there. So, you're going to see a lot of Commanders fans in Dallas for sure.
Yeah. Cool. And it should be, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Now that actually transitions me into a couple things here, and I actually kind of want to use Mike's question here as the transition to this as well. Mike asks, does anyone else feel like lately Philadelphia has become more of a rival than Dallas? It's Dallas week, and I've seen a lot of fans talking about how Dallas week doesn't feel important anymore, right? Last year we got spanked. The year before, right, we spanked Dallas. Of course, we were playing Andy Dalton and Gilbert and stuff like that. So you chalk it up to what it was. But Dallas does have the overall record against Washington. Is Dallas week important to you right now, Stoner?
Yeah, of course it is. Dallas week is huge, and we kind of drum up these rivalries based on how good the teams are at the time, right? Washington's been down for a while. Dallas has pretty much been down for a while. I mean, Philadelphia was in the Super Bowl 4 years ago. They're a good team this year, so it feels like a bigger game because they're the better team. In Dallas, sure, they were like 12-5 last year, but nobody believed in them, really, right? And the year before, they were terrible. I think they won 5 games, something like that. So it really is because Philadelphia has been better the last few years. That's the kind of the team you're shooting for in the division because it's always about the division. They're never going to move Dallas out of the NFC East, even though they're way out there in Texas, because they want to keep that rivalry. If Washington becomes good and Dallas becomes good and they're meeting in the playoffs all the time like they used to do, then it will become bigger. But right now, Philly's who everybody's shooting for, everybody's gunning for right now.
How about you, Trev? Yeah, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I agree. I think it comes with the level of play each season, who becomes our biggest rivalry. I mean, to me, it's Dallas week. it's still important to me as if they were a better team because it's Dallas. It's the Cowboys and Indians. You know, it goes back from way back in the day, and we cannot lose to Dallas. It doesn't matter if we haven't won a game this season. We play Dallas. You still have to act like this is our Super Bowl. It's our chance to go to the Super Bowl. It's how you have to treat it because of the history. But nowadays, more realistic, yeah, it does feel like Philly is more of our rival just because they're a better team than the Cowboys in the past recent years. It's been between us and them to decide the NFC East Championship, with the exception of last year. So, or year before that.
I think the proximity and Gus Bus talks about this in one of his comments. There is like you have not just the NFL side of the house here, but you have you have the other Philadelphia teams that Washington goes against. So you got a lot of that hatred, right? And then the proximity to them is one of those things. But I do agree. I'm going to show Steven's comment here again. My two favorite teams are Commanders and whomever plays Dallas. So I'm doubly invested. Absolutely. I tell people this all the time, right? When they're just like, and Stoner, we actually talked about this for Monday Night Football. Stoner asked me after the show went off, and he was just like, well, who do you want to win tonight? And I apparently did not make it clear enough during the show where I said that I hoped New York Giants managed to stay undefeated. But my second favorite team is whomever is playing Dallas. So, obviously, if that game can end in a tie, great. It didn't. Dallas won. But yeah, whoever's playing Dallas is always my second favorite team. Did not matter this week. This week, though, it's Washington Commanders and Washington Commanders in Dallas week. And I think it will always be important to us. I don't know that it's as important to Dallas fans. And this is something we'll have to ask Shady Katie when she comes on. But I think Dallas fans, especially because they end up getting a lot of that national media, right? So they see themselves as a tier above kind of that NFC East. And they're going up against the best of the NFC, whether or not they're a good team or not. And that's their rivalries. They're going up against, the Green Bays, the San Franciscos, and rather than against the division. So I think that kind of plays into it as well. Shady Katie's already telling me lies, fairy tales, and fantasy, sir, or as I like to say, lies, trash, and garbage. I'm gonna give a shout out here to the great Watubi here with his $2 donation. Super chat is open. You can hit that down at the bottom. We do always appreciate those who hit that. We don't point it out too often, but it is there, and so we appreciate those donations. The great Watubi here, the G-Dub, as I'm going to call him. Ron is too stubborn to make changes. We're going to be talking about that in the game as we transition to that.
I also want to say something real quick. I had one beer inside the place. It was a Mick Ultra Tall Boy, which is 25 ounces, and it was $16.75 plus tax.
Pricey.
Tall Boy or
Tall Boy, 25 ounces.
Tall Boy, but still,
it's like $17.77 after tax.
Yeah, about $18 for a Tall Boy.
Woo!
You got to sneak them beers in somehow,
or just get loaded in the parking lot before you walk in there.
Pregame and then use the actual game to get there. Yeah, that is pretty pricey. All right. Well, we are going to transition to the game, and then eventually we'll have Shady Katie on here with us. So all that's coming up here on Ref the District. Stay with us here. The game is brought to you by Pacers Running Stores. Pacers has 6 stores in Northern Virginia and D.C. For the best running footwear, apparel, and gear, just stop by or schedule a virtual fitting with the best running experts in the business. Pacers Running exists to help as many people as possible through running. For every run, it's Pacers Running. Welcome back to the game. It is Dallas week, and I was actually feeling a little confident. I know, and we had a comment up there. Appreciate, did it not Merle? Where am I looking? Roger Smith. I was looking for his comment here. The Merle's been pretty down on it. Merle's talking about firing Ron after this week. But Roger here says, if you're delusional, you think we have a shot at winning. If you're a realist, you already know that it will be a beatdown by Dallas. And
it won't, bro.
And so
No,
that one's a tough pill to
No,
swallow.
they won't.
I have some ideas for this, and I was feeling a little bit better, but Stoner, that injury report came out.
Oh, we'll be fine, guys. We'll be fine. It's Wednesday. They have to put one out every Wednesday. We'll be
All
fine.
right.
If Wes Schweitzer is on there with a concussion, no offense, I'm not saying good that he has concussion, but good because he's an awful center. I don't know if you guys saw it, but every single snap was low. Carson
Yeah.
Not
Wentz
every single one.
is-
There were some of those that were high.
But most of the okay. So,
Yeah, we talked about it on Monday. We talked.
all right,
about
I missed it. Well,
Yeah.
I missed that. So yeah. So and we signed Zach Martin's brother, who's a center. Why don't we play him instead of a backup guard at the center position? I don't care if he had chemistry from training camp or not. That's not his position.
Well, he
There's
does.
that.
I mean, they signed him on like Thursday of last week. They got to give him at least a little bit of time to understand how to play.
Nikki
We'll
J
be
talked
fine.
about that, right? She was just like,
Yeah.
if Wes can't make it, Martin is going to be the person starting, and he's been on the team less than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
He's
it is
gonna
what
be-
it is.
I think he's going to be starting anyway.
Yeah.
and I
and
think-
Charles.
And they might kick Schweitzer over to right guard and put Trey Turner on the bench.
On the
he's
bench,
been
that might-
bad.
They might
Charles
as well
is
put him
fine.
on the bus because
Charles Leno is fine. It's a vet day. They said. He said they came in
Yep.
He came in yesterday sore. That he's fine. Sadiq Charles, he's probably fine. Sam Cosme, he had a brace on. He participated a little bit. He's limited, as you see. St. Juice hamstring. That's not ideal. You don't want to hear that because he was the top cornerback from last
he
week.
looked really good last week.
Casey Toohill, that's fine. He hasn't contributed all this year anyway. And Daniel Wise, you don't want to see that because he's had a nice time being a depth.
I mean, he
and-
missed last game, but I mean,
No.
he is an effective, not great, but effective.
No, but yeah,
defensive
and Jonathan
tackle.
Williams, he's just a body because Brian Robinson's not there yet, so it is what it is.
And
So see, we're
if
fine.
If Jonathan Williams is out, you rely on Jarrett frickin' Patterson. Am
No,
I
you
right,
don't.
EP?
No,
Am I
he's-
right?
Waka waka waka. No,
No, but I'm glad that
We're fine.
Charles Leno was a rest day for a vet.
yeah.
I mean, if it extends, we are going to have to talk to Jen and be like, "Hey, Jen, what's going on here? What can you tell us? Does your man need
me.
some ball toner? Because we can hit him up with that."
That's right.
Some scotcheroos and Manscaped is all he needs.
I can't do Scotcheroos. They've lost Scotcheroo privileges. They're
Yeah.
on to their third one. We got to remember, Jen switches it up every time the team loses,
Yeah.
which I don't think is going to happen this week.
It's
but
not.
I'm a delusional fan. And speaking of some delusion, let's welcome to the chat here,
we're not rude.
Shady Katie coming on here.
Oh,
Left
boy.
District. We
I
appreciate you
missed
jumping in
you
with
so
us.
much. It's been so long. You guys look so tired. It's been a week. It's been a week and it is Wednesday. So let's get into it. So boys, I think we need to be careful what we wish for. I want to start with this. I was looking at our old videos, getting ready for this show.
Mhm.
We are playing so much earlier in the season than we were last year.
Yeah.
I was already rocking the Christmas sweater at this point, but I am still very deep into my hoodie season. Like, it's hoodies, it's pumpkin spice, it is pumpkins and everything I love about fall.
The burger.
So no Christmas sweater yet, but that I'm almost wondering, I kind of almost don't like this far end of the spectrum that we're playing each other this early either. Like, I don't like it.
Well, it's early and it's late. You can Dallas comes to Washington into the season here.
Very last game of the season, which at this point, I still cannot tell if it's going to matter. And I feel like at this point in the year last year, I was like, well, I know it's going to be like Dallas and Philly and this, that, and the other. But after I came down from the high of Trayvon Diggs,
Out in 250 yards receiving.
Trey, you respect Mr. Diggs and the fact that he won the game for us. And also, I will give a shout out to, although he was inconsistent in the first half, good old
Don't
CD.
you dare say CD Lamb. Don't say it.
He is the reason that the unsolicited Dak picks won the fantasy matchup on Monday. So I'm just saying.
I helped a friend win as well. Not thanks to CD
Stoner,
Lamb,
what are we doing?
but CD Lamb was the difference maker in the end. But it was he asked me, do you start Lawrence or do you start Wilson? I was like, you got to start Lawrence. Lawrence got him obviously more points than Wilson, and then CD Lamb closed the deal for him.
Mhm.
Closed the deal for Dallas as well against the Giants, bringing Dallas to 2-1.
Yeah.
I don't know
This
why
game-
you guys don't ask me fantasy advice. I know I am the king of fantasy.
Well, then I'll ask you tomorrow when I'm finalizing my lineups. How about that?
You do that because I guarantee you I can get you to the finals in your
Witnesses
league.
now, I will do it. But the problem with us playing so early is I have to wonder, is it fair to say that that the two teams, Washington and Dallas, are having the same season because how we really played the same teams in the beginning of the year? So because I had like 15 minutes of free time and I need to work on my Photoshop skills, made a little something for the show. So gonna break down exactly what we're looking at. Stoner, my sweet friend, would you while we're doing that, I do need to call somebody out. Mr. Stores, I have yet to see a tall boy pop up in your, where is it?
He's got to pull out the $25 is what
I put it in the cup. I'm not actually like using the can because
I put mine in a
copyright
cup
stuff. Yeah, mine's in the cup too.
This is
trust me, you haven't given us a chance to say any smoke because you've been blabbering about your fantasy stupidity and your Dallas Cowboy stupidity this whole time. So let's get going anyway. Go ahead.
I'm just glad she didn't.
Go ahead and pull up one of those graphics for me if you would be so
then we have multiple graphics.
Great.
What are you doing?
Who said she could take over the show with the graphics, you guys? It's not in the contract.
I bought presents. Okay, so let's take a look at what you guys have had to deal with when it comes to your 3-team.
Oh, you have our numbers. Okay.
Yes, I did both. Okay. So right now there is a 19-point spread. You guys are on the losing side of that of combined scores. Interestingly enough, the only team in the NFC East who is on the winning side of a spread is, of course, the Eagles. The combined records of all of your opponents through week 3 is 6-3. That is a little higher than Dallas. I did make a Dallas slide. We'll go into that. The thing that I am going to bring up is the outlier is Philadelphia. Take a look at the QB ratings. These are from your respective matchups. So Lawrence had a 46.7, Goff had 51.7, and look at Hurts with 85.9. You're going to see Dallas's opponents' numbers nowhere near that. I also am going to call
these are QBR or these QB ratings?
QBRs. I messed up on the graphic and then
I just wanted to clarify because 46.7 is awfully low. I was just like, I don't know about that.
I apologize. I meant to change it and then work got insane. Again, I'm gonna go to the outlier here and point out that total sacks against Carson Wentz was 15. Didn't 9 of those come from Philadelphia?
Yes, so Katie, 9 of those came from Philadelphia.
Again, if you kind of take away Philadelphia, we might be having the same kind of season so far. Played Philadelphia and we're not. And you have lost 95 yards. Stoner, I'm not going to go after you guys without coming after my folks. So I did make a similar number or a similar graphic for Dallas. Now, I did, of course, have to break this down a little because we only had Dak for not even a full game. We've had Cooper Rush. Dak is not even throwing at this point. So our season looks a little bit more level-headed. So we, again, are on the losing end of that spread, but it's only a 9-point difference. Our opponents' records combined are 5-4. Our QBRs, a lot more similar. You've got the high end Brady and the low end of good old Danny Dimes, which, again.
So what you're saying, let me just check something here. So what you're saying,
I don't have cleats.
In this graphic and the quarterback comparisons, the quarterbacks that you've played against have played poopy.
They
have quarterbacks that we've played
against. They
against.
have played worse against us than your opposing quarterbacks played against you.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
And they have your combined record is worse as well.
but only by one. Now, again, have to break it down. Prescott is the only one to have thrown an interception so far in the season. Cooper Rush has not. And
Gus, what are you doing?
Gus Bus is like earning points.
Gus Bus just kind of speaking the truth right now.
Gus, we have had 5 total sacks. Rush, of course, playing more, has seen more of that. And again, with the sack yards lost, that one has actually been a little bit more even. I kind of want to point out the fact that Rush has played twice as many games. Rush has played twice as many games, but only edged out Prescott and how many yards were lost. And I think the reason for that is because you guys know more than anybody how disastrous our O-line was looking when we were going into the season. And I'm a big enough fan to admit it. Well, we're doing a little bit better. But
it's the Giants.
Well, I think what that comes down to, and we've talked about this as far as the Washington team as well. Last year, the O-line, last couple years, the O-line for Washington's looked good. A lot of that comes from the play calling. When you have somebody like Taylor Heineke, you're not calling these deep passes. I think some of that comes down for Cooper Rush as well, right? Dak Prescott is somebody you can trust back there, somebody who can extend plays and who can get the deep ball. Cooper Rush is more of a game manager, not going to necessarily take those big shots unless they're there, right? You guys are going to occasionally take that. So I think that's one of those reasons why you're not going to see that.
Bro, you guys are all, so Katie, you left one stat out. You guys are ranked 30th in total offense right now through 3 games. So I'm not really concerned about Cooper Rush, your savior from on Sunday or Monday, CeeDee Lamb. And I'm not worried about Zeke Elliott or Tony Pollard because your offense is 30th in the league.
So I acknowledge that, but I'm gonna go back to Nathan's point a little bit that Cooper Rush is more of a game manager. I think he has to be with the way the O-line looks right now, because of course we lost Collins in the offseason to Cincinnati, and then Tyron Smith. I'm going to be the first person to say it. I don't think we're gonna see Tyron Smith play this season. I also think that we may have seen him play football for the last time as a Dallas Cowboy. So Tyler Smith, unfortunately, Tyler was racking up some penalties on Monday night, which I was like, sweet little prince, what are you doing?
That's his MO. He did it in college.
He did it in college. And I think the purpose of bringing in Peters was to kind of be that mentor that Tyron Smith.
Oh, man, Peters.
Yeah, he really does look like an old man. But
no, he is old.
I think while that O-line is still finding its footing, Cooper Rush has to be that game manager as opposed to somebody who it's like, okay, just go do stuff. Like, honestly, Dak is.
Let me ask you a question, Katie.
I will give you an answer, Trevor.
Do you have a quarterback controversy in Dallas? Legit.
Ooh, coming right for it.
I think you do.
I do not. I think Jerry Jones is talking about
you guys bring the smoke with me. What the hell?
But see, here's the thing, right? If we admit that Dallas has a QB controversy, then Stoner's point about drafting Sam Howell is going to come true, right? Then
no, it's not. No, it's
not. People are already calling for Heineke. People are calling for Howell. We're 3 games into the season.
Help.
Cooper Rush has played okay. It's not played great. He's played okay, and you can't have a QB controversy.
I have 2 things to say. Number 1, Jerry Jones is talking about Dak versus Cooper, the same reason that Trev has been tweeting about Dak versus Cooper. It's all for attention. That's it. That is it. Is to get people talking. It is to get attention and nothing more. The second point that I want to make, and here's why I think it's not necessarily a conversation we need to have yet. Had this been different on Monday night, I would say, okay, maybe we have to have that conversation. The fact is, I would think there would be more of a, does Cooper have a future, blah, 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 had Dak not traveled with the team to New York, but he was out there on the sidelines with them. And I really think that the intent of that was because they wanted Dak to see game level what they were up against, especially with the fact that New York was undefeated at the time. I think if they didn't see Dak bringing the rest of the season, bringing Dallas to the end of the season and hopefully into the playoffs, he would have stayed back in Dallas. I think the fact that he did travel to New York, even though he's still not even throwing yet, I think was a bigger message than what Jerry Jones said.
That man was in
You'd
the
hope it
locker room
was.
after the game with his shirt off.
Yeah, he was.
They didn't even play, just took off his shirt. Like, it was
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing?
I liked that. part.
Exactly. He doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
Now,
You have a
now my
quarterback
man
controversy.
Stoner's been sitting down there with a shit-eating grin on his face. I apologize.
Yeah,
I know
dog.
we try to make this a family show. And I've seen him,
Dallas
okay?
week, though.
He did his due diligence for our guest here, Shady Katie, but he has notes. I see it. I know he
Bring
has
him,
something
Stoner.
for us.
Bring these real
What
notes
do you
out,
got
bro.
for us,
Go.
Stoner?
I mean, my
Help
notes are
us.
just kind of the overall success of their offense and our defense, and
Or
vice
lack
versa,
thereof.
Okay.
or lack thereof. And then they have the old sniff test, and the sniff test is what I've got a little bit of a problem with. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do
Cooper Rush.
it.
Mhm.
Who?
I can't believe we're talking about this guy. He is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL.
He's undefeated as a starting quarterback.
I
Stoner.
know.
If you were to rank starting quarterbacks in the NFL, would you rank Cooper Rush in the top 32? No. The answer. I'll answer for you all. No.
No.
That
I
makes
would
him a
not.
terrible starting quarterback because that makes
Yeah.
him the worst in the league.
He's the
He
starting
threw-
quarterback because our starting quarterback is hurt. Like let's
Right.
if you're gonna have that conversation, let's put him against Sam Howell or every other backup.
Well,
No,
but here-
no,
the problem.
But the thing
problem,
is, he's a
Katie,
starting
is he's
quarterback, like you
starting.
just said. You just said he's a starting quarterback.
He is a
He
starting
is.
quarterback because our normal starter is
Right.
hurt.
That's fine.
Okay, that's
That's
fine.
fine. But
But he's a starting quarterback.
all of this propping up of Cooper Rush is
Mhm.
maddening.
Mhm.
I've seen one good throw from Cooper Rush, and that was
You
a
have?
drop by
Yeah,
CD
CeeDee
Lamb.
Lamb.
Yeah.
That's
Mr.
the
Primetime
only-
88
So mad.
himself.
I was
That's
oh
the
I'm
only
surprised y'all couldn't
pass.
hear the cussing from here.
We
That's
heard
the
it.
only pass that Dallas threw over 30 yards, I believe, in that entire game.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
Okay. All he does is
Nothing.
dump it to guys who are open or whatever. He's not good. He's not good. Anybody who thinks
Doug here has a great comment, though. Generally, you want your backup not to lose games
That's
rather
fine.
than trying too
He's
hard
doing-
to win. He is
he's-
3-0. DMV
he's
mess
doing
hall.
what
Thanks
he's
for that
supposed-
stat there.
he's doing what he's supposed to be doing and not losing the season, right? And so by the time
So
Dak
far.
gets back, he's got a big hill to climb. But he's terrible. And Washington should regardless of what Washington has done for the last 2 weeks, Washington should destroy Cooper Rush. I'm not saying
Amen.
Dallas.
Amen.
I'm saying they
Amen.
should destroy him because he
Amen.
does not belong in the NFL as a starting quarterback. So
Mhm.
let's get off of
Okay,
this
I will
quarterback controversy.
counteract for Cooper. That was a beautiful soapbox that you stepped on. Truly.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. How often have you seen me on Twitter or on social media or even here and then being like, "Oh my God, Cooper Rush is so great. Cooper Rush is getting the job done." I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not.
You're ready for
drinking
Dak to
Cooper
come
Rush
back, right?
Kool-Aid, and I never have.
Why are
been.
you ready for Dak to come back?
I'm ready for Dak to come back because Cooper Rush is the backup. Dak is who we have established as our quarterback, and he is honestly a better fit for our receivers to include.
Better than who? A better
Do
fit
you remember?
than who?
Do you remember Dak's stats before he got injured? He was pretty poopy that game.
He
Cooper
was.
Rush comes in as won
And
2 in a
that's
row.
not just
You really-
I'm not going to pretend that Tampa Bay game was bad. Y'all, I got to watch a Dallas Cowboys game with my father for the first time in 15 years, and it had to be the Tampa game. I'm like,
Well, you saw the goat. I mean, you got to see the goat at the same time. So
But,
it's
but
cool.
let me ask you:
better early.
if you want to study up on Cooper Rush,
Mhm.
all right,
Just-
if you're a coordinator and you want to study up on him, what have you got to study up on him?
Not very much. He's only
You
played
got
3 games.
You've got almost nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you get some tape on him, they're going to figure him out.
But by
And
the
that's
time there's
what they
enough
did with guys
time,
like
Dak's going to be back.
right. But I'm saying is that Washington should be able to figure him out
Yes.
because now they have 3+ games of tape on him.
Yes.
Okay, that's why
For
he's
sure.
winning these games because he's able to do these little things and get the ball to the guys quickly.
Kellen
and all
Moore
that.
has
And
Kellen Moore
you can
has
figure that
been
out.
doing a good game plan for him. And DMV Mess Hall brings that up here. Rush has been in Kellen Moore's offense for 4 years and knows the system that is going to be a problem. That's from DMV Mess Hall. Make sure you go out and support their channel as well. Tailgate Ted and the rally captain.
We're going to be just fine.
It's going to be.
How many points have they scored? How many points has Dallas scored?
Trev, you
Not
mentioned
over
it,
20.
right? You
they're
said that they're in the
No,
30th.
you guys have arguably scored more than us. You have arguably scored
The
more
only
than us.
Yeah, and
we have if we stop, we just got to stop Micah Parsons and D-Law, and we'll be just
and based on,
fine.
And based on Sunday's performance, the highlights that I saw, you're not doing that.
No,
I mean, we just might. It's a division game. You never know.
I have
you
some
never
thoughts
know.
I have some thoughts on that I'm going to want to talk about later.
I will tell you this now. Cooper Rush is going to have very little, if anything, to do with this game.
Exactly. If you do win, it's going to have to come from Micah Parsons, and that's a tall task.
Carson Wentz that I said about Taylor Heineke last year. Because Micah Parsons is coming for him, and once again, I am scared for that little white boy. I truly am. Like it's gonna happen.
I'm not.
I'll get back to that one, okay? Because I have some thoughts on that one. But Gus Bus brings up a question here for you, Shady Katie. Do you regret trading Amari Cooper?
And don't say no, or else we're okay.
You know that I regretted trading Amari Cooper months ago. I'm just telling the general audience now. We traded it. Like I said in the draft, we traded him away for an expired Groupon and a stick of gum. Like it was, especially after the performance against Pittsburgh. I'm just like, all my friends are cheering because they're Browns fans, and I'm banging my head against the wall just to prove I can still feel something. Like I was just. Like I was not happy.
How confident are you in the Dallas wide receiver core? You got CeeDee Lamb, and then the rest of it is pretty.
Noah Brown, baby, got Noah Brown. Don't forget that's Cooper's guy. That's Cooper's practice squad guy, baby.
I think we should mention that wide receiver core because I think that's going to help me transition into a little thing called our injury report. Because, boys, gentlemen.
Yes.
Michael Gallup is on track to rejoin.
Oh, great. He's on track to play what? Next week with Dak or with Cooper Rush?
He will play.
Which one?
On track to play Sunday. He was a full participant in all of last week's practice.
So how's that chemistry with Cooper Rush going?
Here's the thing. I
just want to know, how's that going to work out?
It's going to work out interesting. It's not going to be
sure?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's really easy to argue with you, Trevor, when your face is like that close to the camera.
I know, right? Make sure you can see the smoke I'm bringing. That's all. That's all I want to do.
Is that what we're calling it? All right.
Yeah.
But it's going to be very interesting to see Michael Gallup come back, especially when it's not with Dak. But adding him back to the receiver core is definitely a good thing. I do think Noah Brown did rise to the occasion, especially in the face of CD's inconsistency. I was really also happy to see, looking at the backfield, I was really happy to see a lot of that flashiness that Tony Pollard has a tendency to go for really be scaled back this game because we needed him to make those big plays, and he did. The problem is that I feel like sometimes Pollard tries too much to either like overshadow or be on the same par as Zeke, and that actually ends up costing us. And I think finally Tony's been like, okay, let me just do what I know how to do. But I think this is really going to be more of a game where our defense just rips your O-line and your quarterback to shreds. And I'm really excited to see that.
I will take under.
Yep. I'm with you, Stoner.
I'll take under 7 sacks.
I'll take under 5
I'll
sacks.
take the under.
I'll take under 5.
I'll go with Trev on this one. I was actually gonna put $1 on this. 4 or less stats.
She said they're going to.
Take that. I think it's gonna be 5.
She thinks
how many sacks 5 is not shredding and destroying an offensive line.
So here's the thing.
Quarterback. 7
so
is.
I'm gonna say 5 sacks. But I'm also going to say that I'm going to put $1 on this. Daniel Jones was pressured 22 times on Monday night. I am going to say Dallas goes higher than that on Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's be honest.
Listen,
Can we
this
be
is a
realistic?
week-to-week league. You think
Thank
that
you.
Scott Turner and Ron Rivera are
you
sitting there
kidding me right
saying,
now?
well, we gave up all these hits. Dallas hits their quarterback all the time. Let's keep the same game plan. Let's do the same thing we did the last week.
And that's precisely why I'm predicting a much lower number here.
Your fans say that Ron is too stubborn to change too much.
Well, that's
He is.
That's
That's a fair point here.
Philadelphia ran for 181 yards the week before, and I believe over 160 in game one. We held them to 70-something yards. Why?
Exactly.
Because we focused on stopping the run, and we did that. If you focus on a certain thing that a team does well and you're not doing well, you will make those changes for that week. It will happen.
I don't think
we all thought it was going to be a 61-28 game, right, between Dallas and Philadelphia, and it came in at 32 total points between the two teams.
You mean
Teams
Dallas and
make
New York?
Philadelphia, Washington is what he's referring to.
Yeah,
there.
to Philadelphia, Washington.
If you want to talk big scores, wasn't it 56-14 the last time we played?
I mean, if you want to talk sports, you can talk about the massacre we laid on you the Thanksgiving before that. So I mean, and this league is what have you done for me lately, right?
So any given Sunday.
It's funny you bring that up.
And who did you beat when it was 56-14?
Gary Gilbert.
Gilbert.
I
What's eating Gilbert great?
Was it Heineke back last time?
No, it was the COVID game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You have to forgive me. My memory's goldfishy. It's funny you bring up that massacre at Thanksgiving, though, because I remember you were texting me relentlessly. And also, you and I had watched the game before then, the first matchup of the 2020 season. What I think I do have to point out that that was the last time that we lost Dak for a considerable amount of time. And I kind of have to remember, like, oh yeah, Cooper Rush had gotten hurt in the preseason. I wish that hadn't happened, because then we didn't get to see what he would have done. Instead, we have to, get
Andy Dalton and Ben DiNucci.
I was fine until you brought up those names. I wasn't going to say them.
And Cooper Rush is a superstar compared to
once again, this is now the third episode in a row that I have to be upset, because I want my matchup of Dak Prescott versus Chase Young. And at this point, the universe is never going to give me that. So guys, what is Chase Young's status right now? Because please tell me, like, there's hope for the end of the season. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he should be back before the end of the season, but we're really looking at Trev's muted. I'm not sure what's going on.
To be honest.
Can't you say the same thing about Dak though? Because once Chase is always hurt, isn't Dak always hurt? Isn't the ankle or the shoulder or a thumb or so? I mean,
which, as
like
Washington fans were happy.
Well.
We had someone share the stat earlier. Dak Prescott's 9-1 against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So we are okay that I
Prescott
never wish injury on anybody.
Dak Prescott has y'all's number, clearly.
If he sits on the
Prescott is a
sideline,
top 10 quarterback. He's got a lot of people's numbers.
No.
He was a top 10 quarterback.
He's not top 10, Stoner.
I don't think he's been top
10
10 for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. You can name 10 better than him right now.
Look at the
season.
Nathan,
do it.
Okay,
let's do it.
Shady Katie, hold on.
I'm going to
Hold on. Let me tell you. Let me ask real quick. What was Dak Prescott's record when he got hurt in 2020? Someone tell me that real quick.
When he got hurt,
what
was the team's record? I don't know. I have no idea.
It was 2-5.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
that
what
was
about
his last season where he was healthy, right? Last season, yes, he was able to take the team. The team made it to the playoffs.
They were 12-5 and he threw 38 touchdowns.
Okay, great. And they also had one of the easiest schedules because they had a freaking a fourth. Listen, he honestly is not the quarterback he once was. I like Dak. I was sad that Dallas re-signed him. I'm not the Mandalorian who called him mid earlier, okay? I'm just saying he's no longer like one of the elite quarterbacks. He is a good quarterback.
How many playoff games has he won? I don't give a damn about regular season. How many playoff games has Dak Prescott won? And that 9-1 record against us. How many playoff wins has Dak Prescott had? I don't give a yeah. Now I'm bringing smoke. Damn the regular season. Damn the 9-1 record against Washington. How many playoff records? How many playoff wins does Dak Prescott have? How many does
He
he have?
doesn't have
I
any.
don't know.
How
Let
many
me ask you
appearances
this.
does he have?
Let me ask you this then, Trev. Let me ask you
2
this.
and 3, Guspus. Thanks.
Is Justin Herbert a top 10 quarterback?
Is the sky blue on a clear day?
How many
Yes.
playoff games has he won?
0, but he's still a top
What's
10
the age
playoff
difference?
games
How many
has he been
seasons
in?
He's been in the
difference?
league
Are we
2
really
years,
talking
Stoner.
about
Dak's been in the league 10 years. 10 plus years.
He hasn't been in
hasn't.
10 years.
If you're 9-1 against Washington, how many games is that?
That's 5 years.
that's
Son,
5
they
years.
play
Okay,
twice a
still
year.
better than Justin Herbert. And he's still, how many playoff wins does he have?
Okay, but
That's
you-
in 2016. God, you're bad at math.
It's still more than Dak Prescott. I mean, Justin Herbert.
I
It's
know,
fine.
but playoff games are helpful to your ranking as a quarterback. Yes, but they're not everything.
No.
Okay, you know
And Dak
he's a top
Prescott
10
it is.
quarterback. You can't give me
Who?
10 guys who are better than him.
Then
You can
Dak
give me
Prescott,
9. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
Joe
would
Joe
argue.
Burrow,
Give me
I would
9.
Tom
argue
Brady,
Dak-
Aaron
I would
Rodgers.
argue Dak is top 10, but I'd put him at the bottom of the top 10 list.
Yeah, he would be number 10. That's
Those
what I'm
would be
saying.
Number 10.
That's all I've said is he's a top 10 quarterback. He's
Dak
number
Nathan, look
10.
it up. Nathan, bring it up. I see you working over there. Bring it up. Come with
Now
me.
you're
Yeah,
muted.
you know I'm bringing it up. Okay,
Come with me.
You want me to bring up Dak numbers, right? That's what I'm bringing
I
up
want
right
you
now.
to give me 10
Whack
quarterbacks
Prescott
that are
numbers.
better than him that knocks him out of the top 10.
Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, Tom
Matt
Brady,
Stafford.
Aaron Rodgers,
Mm.
Russell Wilson, Derek
Oh.
Carr,
Ooh,
Right, do you think
Wilson's
Wilson
a rough
is a
one
better
right now.
quarterback than
Derek
Dak?
Carr.
Deshaun Watson. Let's
Deshaun
see.
Watson.
What?
Are you serious?
Are you?
Guys,
Not
we
right
did
now.
we
I'm
did a
sorry,
whole,
did
we
Dak
did a
win it?
whole
I have-
show
Has
I have-
here
Dak,
about
has
that.
Dak won MVP yet? I'm sorry. Has he thrown for 4,000 yards? Has he
Has
done that?
Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
He's won MVP?
Yeah.
No. Sorry,
No,
Trev.
He's
Deshaun
not.
Watson
He's
did
not.
not
He's
win
not
an
won
MVP.
MVP.
He hasn't
I
even been
have to
close.
say, I have to make
He's
this
on the
public
list.
call right now. I
He's
have to
on
make
that
this public
list.
call. Mama Stores, if you're still in the
Hold
chat,
up.
come get your child. Oh my God.
Don't call my mother out. You have no idea who she is. Do not call her out.
Get your son.
You don't know who she is to call her out. She can't save you right now. She cannot save you right now.
No, but she
Right,
needs to
so-
be you.
Maybe we're kind of getting too caught up in minutia of whether he's
Yeah,
top.
It's
he's
Dallas
top
week,
10,
baby. It's
top
Dallas
10,
week.
top 11, whatever. He is a quarterback that Washington should be afraid of if he's on
Are
the
you
field.
kidding me right
But
now?
he is not on the field.
Oh,
Cooper
my
Rush
God.
is a
You should
horrific
be afraid
NFL
of Dak
quarterback,
Prescott.
and Washington's
Stoner.
defense should
Oh, my
feast
Cooper
on Cooper
Rush.
Rush.
Cooper Rush is the neighbor that you ask to hang out while your stove is on while you have to go get an ingredient from the store.
Cooper Rush is Andy Dalton's little brother. That's all
That's
it is.
what it is. Dak had to run to the store for like 4 things, and Cooper Rush needs to just make sure that like the house doesn't catch on fire while he's gone.
Well, with $75 million wasted, you would think he'd have somebody to watch the stove for him already instead of having to ask Andy Dalton's little brother, Cooper Rush, to help him. But, you know, it is what it is.
But you know what? Steven brings up a great point. I'll if I can read this. No QB is top 10 without the other 10 players around him, not even Tom Brady.
Wrong.
Amen.
Wrong.
That's so wrong.
I know.
Tom Brady's won with a bunch of nobodies.
Thank
He's
you.
won with a bunch of receivers and running backs that are nobodies that you
I'd
can't
argue
even
that
name.
he's
I
out
will
there.
say he.
You can't
if-
even name them.
I will say. I mean, you can name
He will.
Gronk, right? You can
Okay.
name. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me
I know
one
my
more.
friend Austin
Rod
is speaking
Smith,
right now.
like
I'm going to bring up
James
something that my
White.
friend Austin during our
Edelman,
draft.
Corey Dillon,
If
I didn't say you guys. I'm talking to her.
Sonny Michelle. like,
Wes Welker.
so my friend Austin, who I know is watching, said something that I've been quoting nonstop,
Mark-
which is
Kevin
that
Falk.
Trevor, adults are talking. That if
still naming
Tampa Bay, that if Tampa Bay is losing by mid-season, that Tom Brady is going to call Gronk. And then he said the best line I've ever heard: Gronk is Tom Brady's binky.
Yeah.
Just
It's Banky.
just
The
binky.
security blanket.
yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. Every QB needs one of those, right?
Yeah,
Everybody,
and
every
Gronk is
QB
that.
needs one of those.
So here's my question, because it's Wentz's first season with the Commanders. Who's Carson's binky?
He doesn't have one yet. That has not been established in 3 weeks.
Yeah, so I would say
Getting there.
arguably, you would say Samuel, right?
Mhm.
Though
I would say
Like,
Curtis Samuel.
he has been the one who's had the most targets. consistently being used in multiple spots. Now, Terry McLaurin, criminally under targeted. Just absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this last
Having
game
him
against
in the league
Philadelphia,
has not been fun.
yeah. This last game, he ended up coming alive, late.
Win.
And I mean, the guy had 107 yards, and so I mean, like
it was overshadowed by the 24.
Oh yeah, the fact that you're down 24, like there's a lot of garbage times
And
there.
his
But yeah,
two drops,
everyone's
by the
saying,
way.
yeah, Samuel, yeah, that's absolutely.
I
Yeah,
have
two drops.
Samuel in one of my leagues. Me too.
Yeah, so Curtis Samuel's been kind of that person who's been going, all out.
He's
for
been everything that
Washington
we
this
wanted him
early
to be
on.
last year. But
Mhm. So,
Let's figure out what needs to be done from our end to win, and what Katie says
if we
needs
just
to be done for them to win.
if we contain their pass rush, we'll be fine, bro. They cannot beat us on the offensive side of the ball.
does
Even she knows
Washington
that.
win if there's less than 5 sacks on Carson?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Because
Washington
we can't even get a playoff because our quarterback's running for his life. If we can just cut that in half and maybe get some plays off, who knows what the hell we could do? I mean, we've already seen it in game 1.
And it's on Carson too. It's on Carson.
Yeah, he's got to get rid of the ball. Stop
Yeah.
taking sacks.
They're
throw the
going
ball
to-
away.
They're going to
but-
make adjustments. I promise you, they are going to make adjustments on offense to their offensive line and how they protect Carson, and Carson making smarter, quicker decisions. That's going to happen. They're going to make adjustments.
I'm
They're
more
not
confident
stupid. Okay,
about this game that I was in
they're doing
Detroit.
it.
I don't think they can adjust as much as they need to in the limited time that they have. I don't.
Limited time. It's been a week.
Yeah.
You guys have a lesser week than us, so that's what.
That's
you
how
guys should
long
be
they have
worried
the
about.
game plan each time. That's how long they had a game plan against Philadelphia's top rushing attack.
Oh,
And
that's
as Stoner mentioned, they held them to 70
I knew we were losing that
some
game.
odd yards. I mean, this
Mhm.
so one of the things that Washington needs to focus on, and this is some of the things that we talked about, Shady, here with Washington, right? They need to be able to contain those big plays. They were in position. Ron talked about this. They were, before the first 2 games, they allowed those big plays. They weren't anywhere near the big plays. Last week against Philadelphia, they were there. They just weren't making the plays. Kendall Fuller was
Kendall
getting
Stop!
Fuller.
Don't even
torched,
mention
Not
his
making
name,
the
bro.
He was
Stop.
getting
Don't even
torched.
mention his name.
but he
Don't
was
mention
there.
his name.
He was physically there. He was just getting beat. Okay. That's
Well,
that's
that's a problem.
Trev, that's I'm not saying it's not a problem, but I'm saying he was at least there, right?
Cool.
One of the things they focused on was that running attack. They were able to stop that. They're finally starting to use Jamin Davis the way that he's supposed to. He's not going to be Micah Parsons. All right. Micah Parsons is a different beast. Micah
Yeah, he
Parsons, not LT.
That's my
He's
boy.
not the second coming of
your
LT.
team's bad if your star player is a defensive player, but go ahead.
Not wrong, but but Micah Parsons is good. Micah Parsons is probably going to end up with at least 1 sack. But I agree.
How many
with
sacks
Stoner
did he
here.
have Monday?
I say like what, 1?
So Micah was.
How many did he have
actually-
Monday?
Micah
And I
was
have
on Monday. Micah
Why
was.
was he sick? You know why he was sick? Because LT called him out and said, "I'm gonna be in the building to come watch you play," because everybody's saying you're the next coming of LT, and he didn't show up.
How many did he have? I'm asking.
Unfortunately, I don't know it
I
off.
think
the
it was at
top.
least 1.
I
Honestly.
I'll
think he
answer for
had-
you.
So Demarcus
How
Lawrence
many?
are more
How
than
many do you have, Soder? How many do you have?
He had the same as I did.
Let's go.
I did. I wanted to say 0, but I thought that was a possibility that he had
So
one.
that needs to all that
Demarcus
Lawrence.
Lawrence was the one who was the threat. Micah Parsons did.
D-Law was you didn't call
Yeah.
his name.
Because
D-Law did not
Because
do
they got
anything.
Lawrence Taylor, bro. They got the second coming of Lawrence Taylor. Ain't nobody else on the team but Micah Parsons.
Look,
Y'all know
if
that?
you watch some of the tape, though, Micah Parsons was getting double
Look,
and
here's
triple
the thing.
teams.
Oh yeah, Micah Parsons.
Because
They were
the game plan
Because they
against Micah
adjusted.
Parsons.
Because
Yeah.
they made adjustments.
But then
It
they
is what it
got
is.
the other side.
Aaron
Oh,
Donald
he's-
beats 2.
he's
Aaron
wrong.
Donald beats double teams and triple teams. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Just saying.
So Miles Garrett.
I mean, Mark
D-Law
look,
did have
Micah
3 sacks.
Parsons.
My apologies there.
Micah Parsons is a problem.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
He's
but-
your problem. He's
100
not
billion
wrong.
percent.
He's
He's
a
a
good
problem. And
But
he's
it can
going to
be
come
fixed.
off of a game where he had 0 sacks, and he's going to be a little bit
He is-
ticked off.
So
And that's not good.
exactly. You bring up a great point.
Being scared,
Nothing-
Stoner.
When it comes to our defense, Nothing is more dangerous than when Micah is upset with himself, and he was super upset that he was sick on Monday. He was
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
absolutely. I would
obviously,
love
we
Parsons.
don't.
I wanted
So
Parsons
we
on
can't.
this team.
We don't have him, so
we
we
can't
live in
rewrite
that
history,
world.
though.
Yeah, we can't.
No, I mean we didn't have a chance to get him though. He was picked before we had.
You were
picked
long
11.
before you guys that year
Yeah,
in the
picked,
draft. I
picked it at
remember.
11. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
picked at 11, and we had 19 that year, and we got the second best linebacker in the draft.
I mean,
Jeremiah was Case Lamar.
I'm surprised y'all even
Cleveland.
want to talk draft.
But as far as your other guy, I think you love the other guy, Trayvon Diggs.
Oh my god.
Trayvon,
He is bad. He is really,
Trash.
really bad.
He's really bad.
And all you
He
have
is.
to do is make
Double
a double move on him, and he's done. He sits
it.
on those
He
first
bites on
moves so
everything.
bad.
Yes.
So bad. He's so bad. We got to take advantage of him. But in order to do a double move, you got to have a deep drop with protection.
I was about to say,
and
like,
that's not
it's
happening.
bold of you to assume that Carson's gonna have that time.
Yeah, he's not going to.
He might.
Because he's not going to have it. He's going to be getting the ball
I'm
out
telling
quick.
you guys, division games
Hold
are
on, hold on.
different.
Doug wants to put John Bates against Parsons. Oh, thank you for that. That's the laugh I needed.
Have you seen John Bates block?
Oh,
Can Micah Parsons cover, or is he better as a pass rusher?
I was pass rusher.
No, I
Absolutely
don't think
pass
he
rusher.
I would argue pass rusher.
Yeah,
I think he's a
I
straight-
wouldn't say that he can't cover, but his strength is definitely.
I think he's a
He's
straight
more
DN.
versatile. He's better as a pass rusher, but he's more versatile than somebody who is either like better at one or the other.
Yeah, you're not going to put him up against Christian Kirk in the slot. Let's just say that.
I mean, you might.
Hey, I was going to bring this up Monday. I saw Bates on one of the plays where he stayed back to block, and he was on the end of the line, right? And he had that offensive lineman kick out, with your leg. You know how offensive linemen do that? They kick their leg way up. Just change his number already from 87 to 78. He's an offensive lineman. That's what Bates is. We got to stop playing around with this. He's a tight end. He's not a tight end.
He is a tight end.
He's
a
probably a
tight end.
better blocker than
we need that.
Trey Turner. Put him at guard.
Can I just put a couple of side notes in real quick for the injury report from today, because I did get a hold of it when the show started. Marcus Lawrence limited in practice. He has a foot injury, even though he finished the game, but he's expected to play Sunday. Michael Gallup, we talked about already. Connor McGovern, he's starting to practice limited. He got that high ankle sprain.
He's an offensive lineman who's really just trash, but it's okay.
Dalton Schultz, he's back in limited practice. I wouldn't expect to see him either.
Yeah, he's on my
and then finally, Jaron Curse was back in uniform for the first time since he got hurt at Tampa Bay. So those are the injuries that we are dealing with.
DMV Mess Hall brought up earlier that Washington has the most difficult strength of schedule through the first 3 games. Washington does.
Yep.
So they've played 3 of the best teams in the league if you combine them.
Jacksonville's got a winning record. Philadelphia's
Detroit's
undefeated.
1-2.
And
Philadelphia
Detroit's 1-2. Detroit also 1-2 against one of those losses is Philadelphia, who's undefeated.
That's right.
And played them close.
But
They beat us, and they also their last loss also was a close loss. Detroit is a better team than people give credit to.
That's right.
Yes, thank you. They are not like things have not completely.
Question though,
better than they were. What's up?
So Philly allowed 35 points to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you guys are going to allow to us on Sunday?
Oh,
Since
are we
defense is so great.
Or is it time for scores? Is it time for the prediction?
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead with those predictions. Get in your predictions in the comment section. I know a couple people have already put them there, but those were way up. So let's hear those predictions. Stoner's got his pen and paper ready.
All right. Am I first?
Sure.
Oh my goodness, I feel so
Ladies
honored.
First.
Oh, then you should go. And
I'm not a Cowboys fan though, so that's cool.
I'm gonna say final score 31-20 Dallas. I say we give you 20.
You say 31? Where do you get 31 points from? Cooper Rush?
I'm going to
You
say
haven't even scored 31 all year.
You scored 23 against the Giants, and you're going to score 31 against Washington?
You barely scored 31 all year in 3 games, and all of a
You
sudden you're
barely
going to have
scored
31
30.
in one game.
Guys, I'll remind you of the fact that historically speaking, when we do blow up in our scores, it's usually against you guys.
With Cooper Rush as a quarterback, though, let's be honest.
You know
you're
what?
30th in offense right now.
In the immortal
30th
words
in
of
points,
I
not in
said
offense.
what I said.
Beard, you better not let me down, my man. Loved the show last night. Make sure you guys get out there. It's Authentic in the Beard. They've got great content. Beard's got some Washington stuff he's gonna add. Get your score predictions in. Shady Katie is blowing us out, but that's not how our people necessarily see it. We do have a lot of boys
All right,
scores
Gregory.
here.
Okay.
Gregory is
Who the hell is
pessimist.
Gregory?
Gregory
know, but I like
Pessimist is his last name.
Gregory Pessimist.
27-13 Dim Boys.
Betty.
He's a Commanders fan, Shady. He does not believe in this team, which is fine.
I was averaging 15 points per game, and she thinks they will get 31. I do. That's all. I do. And
I'm telling you right now, if
Change it.
Dallas scores 30 plus points, then I will
Manscape yourself on camera.
I will convert to the fire JDR bandwagon.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Because you can't give up 31 points
to Cooper
to
Rush
Dallas and Cooper Rush.
Okay.
Then it's over. Then I'm done with him. They're not going to give up 31 to Dallas. They're just not.
All right. G Dub here has Washington 24, Dallas 17, Gus Bus. Kind of with Shady here, 33-16 Dallas. We got Metaphor going the opposite direction.
Let's go.
54-16 Commanders. I love it. Love it.
14 last year, but it's okay. Numbers are hard.
All right. 31-16 Washington from Doug. We got Joff with 17-10 with the Cowgirls. Joff is with us, my man. He's picking against us here.
I want to hear from this one.
Yeah, we're gonna get to this. Bonafide picker, Washington 24, Dallas 16. A lot of people talking about the defense. The defense has not looked great, but I'm asking you.
It's a division game, you guys.
I'm asking you to have faith. We got Austin, Dallas 24,
Hi,
Washington
buddy.
17.
That's my friends.
Who the hell is Austin?
Austin's like, be nice to Austin.
The comedian here, Washington is bad, historically bad.
Who the hell is
You
Robert?
gotta call him Gandera, the comedian.
Gandera, the comedian. The last 4 games, we are 2-2 against Cowboys. We'll see.
Okay.
See truth. Bring in the hard truths here. Washington 10, Dallas 38. Love it. The beard is with us.
That's not effective this season yet. You can't pull that out yet.
You have not done anything.
You haven't either.
That broom stays right where it is.
It's a new season.
No, it's a new season.
It's a new
Not
season.
swept us. That broom could go back there. The beard with Washington 27, Dallas 24.
Had a baby beard.
Had a baby
Nothing
beard,
but love, Gregory. You know that we have nothing but love for the people who come in here. But you got to admit you have a lot of negative feelings towards this team. Rightfully so. Oh, come on, my man. Tailgate Ted here with the DMV Mess Hall, picking Dallas 24-12. Alcatone's having his early pick for the mascot 9-7.
I am obviously partial to the hog as your mascot for
Pig Suey. Yeah, no, we're not going to be squealing. So
I did force my chaplain. I didn't force him. He did it on his own accord. We did a hog call in the middle of work the other day, even though Arkansas lost to A&M. But that was
it was a rough week.
That broke my heart. Thank goodness I had a lot of grape juice by that point.
Yeah. The all my sports teams aside from the Nationals, who have been long out, have lost. That includes Gus Bust had said at least your soccer team could win. No, we lost 2-0. Commandalorian 28-24 Commanders or I quit. Mandalorian, I trust we'll see you win or lose on Monday's day
really.
after Reckoning. We're gonna keep
your
you
guys'
around.
picks.
All right, Trev, why don't you hit yours and we'll get down to the rest of those. Wow, come on, comedian. That's rough.
I got 24-13 Washington.
Mm-mm.
It's going to be close to the beginning like it was against the Giants on Monday night, and then we'll run away with it because it's a division
You're
game.
gonna run away with it. It ain't gonna be you.
Cooper Rush.
Stoner, you got your pick, or you gonna?
Oh wait, who plays for
down?
Cooper? Who comes in for Cooper if he happens to go down?
Will Greer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about it.
I
like Will Greer.
I would start
I
him
like it
over
better
Cooper
than Ben
Rush.
DiNucci.
Yeah, he's a JMU guy. Shout out Ben DiNucci one time.
Will Greer. If Will Greer sees the field,
Things are in dire
If
straits.
Will
for
Greer
Dallas
sees the
at that
field,
point.
you'll be able to hear me crying. Stoner,
Yeah.
what's
Better
your
than Cooper
prediction?
Rush.
what's that?
What's yours?
21-20 Washington.
That a baby Stoner?
Here we go. There.
Finally.
20-17, Washington.
Yeah.
What was it?
20-17. All right, Steven here. I'm sorry, but Dallas is absolutely not in the same class as Philly, Detroit, nor
Thank
even
you.
Jacksonville Commanders.
There we go.
23-17.
There we go. They're not. They're just not.
Then he said. Then Robert goes the exact opposite.
Bye,
here.
Robert. Good night, Robert. You have a good
The
night.
comedian with Dallas 45, Washington
Robert.
7.
That.
45. For real?
P4 going the other direction.
Let's go, baby.
60 to a goose egg.
That's
Washington's
right.
Here's
favor.
the Stephen Greeley one. I can't find.
Stephen Greeley was 23-17 Commanders.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
We keep track. We will make sure to give you a shout out if you get the score right. We might even
Guys.
if you get it exact, we might even try to find our love in our heart to get you something from the Ref the District store
I need
here.
to get a Ref the District hoodie. Ooh.
Those are comfy. Those are those are comfy like those Manscaped shirts.
Look,
are
I'm a
comfy.
basic
Those are
type,
good.
so y'all know I love a good hoodie. Like
You're also a
let
low-key
me just
Commanders
add to
fan.
the
Oh,
selection.
did you let the world how you are a low-key Commanders fan? Did you let them know?
No, I did not because I'm not, and you know why.
No. She is.
But can I end on
So
like
you got Allison here 17-10.
Allison, my girl?
Allison, who the hell are you?
That is hella. Do want to end on a slightly serious note, guys. One of my favorite humans on the planet is currently activated with the Florida National Guard, and two of my friends are Tampa residents. I think I can speak for everybody when I say we are sending all of our love to Florida. If you've got family there, if you are down there, like sending our love and our prayers to you guys. Like, please stay safe. Like, we're talking football, we're having a good time, but like let's look out for our friends down south and definitely stay safe. And our thoughts are with you for sure.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Yep. Make sure you get there. Lucky Chuck, you got to put a winner on here. Otherwise, we're going to assume that
Winner.
W on your profile picture.
No, I'm going
means
to assume it's
you're picking Washington 24-16.
I don't know.
Who is?
That was Lucky
Lucky
Chuck.
Oh, yeah. Who did he have?
He didn't. He
Yeah,
just
so-
put a number. So I'm saying he said Dallas.
Joff is calling you out there. Shady Katie, where's that Dallas swag?
So you will see it Monday for After the Reckoning. The thing is that right now I am poor. I just came off of a big trip and some bills and expenses that I was not anticipating. And while I wanted to order some swag for the wall, because right now I am in my very luxurious dining room, couldn't make it happen, but I get paid tomorrow and I'm hitting Amazon. No, Commandalorian, you take that back. Ew.
Commandalorian, if Washington sweeps Dallas this year, I absolutely will send her a Washington
With
Commander
a broom, too.
onesie.
With
And
the
a
Washington
broom.
Commander broom.
So-
With the
And a
Washington
broom.
Commander broom.
So the game is in Dallas. So obviously nobody's traveling. Where are you guys watching it on Sunday? Like watching it at home, going to a bar? What do you guys have to do?
We
Right
will be
here.
watching it right here on the
Whoa.
channel. That's right.
Nice
You can
setup.
catch us live. We'll have it. In fact, why don't we live ask right now? Shady Katie, do you want to watch with us?
Oh my God.
Actually, so here's the funny thing. I would love to, Nathan, I'm gonna actually
Man, we're being rejected on live TV right now. This is harsh.
So
This is
I have
like
to extend that into
Dallas week.
further. I have to like kind of do a little bit of an ask. Nathan, Unfortunately, Delaware is in the Philadelphia market, and we are not getting any 1 o'clock games. Can I come down and watch it with you guys?
We have a soccer game that day.
Oh!
So I'm going to be coming. I'm going to be coming in late, but let's talk with EP. We'll work something out.
We'll work something out. Like, we'll get a link or something. But so yeah, I saw the viewing map today, and it looks like because I don't want to go to a bar because I want to be on with you guys. But I would absolutely, if we can make it work, I would love to watch it with you guys for sure. And definitely save a seat for me on Monday night. I have cleared my schedule. I am there. Win, lose, or draw, we're gonna have a fun conversation on Monday.
Will she still be here when Washington wins this game? Like many of us have predicted, we'll just have to find out come Monday here. We want to show Shady Katie some love here.
I love you guys.
Appreciate her coming on and joining us here as we broke down and talked about this game against Dallas. We don't need that, Shady. We don't need that.
That hurt my legs. Yesterday was like day. We don't watch games with the end. I mean, it's all
Gregory, I tell you what, one of our most watched games last year was the Dallas game, and it was because I had my in-laws cackling over in the corner. Yeah, they were rather. I just needed to get them to hear what was going on.
It's going to be a great game, and I'm really excited to see it. And regardless of what happens, I still equal parts love and am willing to fight all three of you. So
let's go.
Take that. She's hands. Just remember, tomorrow isn't promised, so swing on them today. So there you go.
All right.
Nice. All right, Shady Katie, folks, our Ref the District resident Cowboy lover. We love to have her on as well. We will be sure to have her back again. All right, Shady, you have a good one, but I hope that your Sunday is as awful can be.
I'm rubber and you're glue, Nathan. Have a great night, guys.
See you, Katie. Thanks for coming.
When we come back, we have the cool down. That's a little bit of dollar, and we're going to be talking about Rick Snyder's. That's right. Rick Snyder said it's time for a coaching change. All that's coming back here on the cool down.
The cool down is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package is the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Now, back to the cool down with Trev, Nathan, and the Stoner.
That's right. We are
baby!
By Manscaped. Make sure you hit that up there. We appreciate all the support that comes our way. That's done a good job on that one.
Thank you, man.
Love that. That was good. I just looked up the game time for soccer.
Yeah.
1 o'clock.
3 o'clock, my man.
Oh, here we go again.
3 o'clock.
What was it last week?
It was 4 o'clock. So at least I got to enjoy. I got to enjoy part of the game here.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see how much of the game I get on. We'll see. Maybe Hurricane Ian might have something to say.
That's true too.
So
could happen.
We'll see. I'm not going to wish that because I know my kid loves playing soccer with his friends. So it is what it is. Gavin comes first. Y'all know that. But doesn't matter what I'm doing. What you should be doing is joining these two and possibly Shady Katie there on our live stream come Sunday as Washington heads to Dallas and hopefully gets that W. Yeah, we appreciate that, Bonafide. We love Shady Katie. She's one of my people over in Aviano and love to have her on even if she roots for the wrong team, but that's all right. Like Trev said, she's low key, Commanders fan. We know it. We know it.
She's on her way.
She is.
So let's get to this Rick Snyder. He had fans know him because we had him on before on the channel here, and of course he's very popular within the Washington the fan group as well. He came out swinging against Ron Rivera. Stoner, what did you think about him talking about a regime change? Now, normally that's been, relegated to, just regular fans, but Rick Snyder, I mean, he gets on 106.7 and he has a voice.
Yeah.
And he's speaking out now against the regime. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because he's been around DC. Well, he's been around DC his whole life, but he's been a part of the DC media for probably 30 plus years. But I don't think he was calling for a regime change today. He wasn't calling it for this week or even next week. He's saying basically at the end of the year. And his whole point was he doesn't see the fire within this, within the players, within his coaches, and within himself. And he thinks that that's missing because the players kind of take on the attitude of their coach. And if their coach doesn't have that fire, then the players won't have that fire. Right. And he's saying, look, Ron was the perfect coach at that time to come in and take care of the franchise and be that franchise guy. Mm-hmm. Right. But now it's time for somebody else to take it to the next step. And I happen to agree to a certain point, but not fully agree with that because I don't think it's going to happen. Let's not forget two things real quick. First, Ron Rivera is in charge of the entire football operation. Mm-hmm. This is a coach-centric organization on the football side. Jason Wright's the president over there. Ron Rivera hired the GMs. He hired the coaches. He hired the staff. He hired the scouts. He's hired everybody in that organization, right? So to get rid of him means you're getting rid of basically 100 different people, okay? So that's not going to happen because they're paying on those contracts for all those people because they're under contract for 2 more years. So they're not just going to all of a sudden get rid of all those people money-wise. So it's not going to happen there. And then number 2, do you really want, and you can say anything you want about who's really running this franchise, but if Dan is off to the side and Tanya, you want Tanya to come in and decide how this organization on the football side is going to run, who's going to be hired in all those important positions? You want Tanya Snyder to do that? Ain't happening. Folks.
Honest question here. What's wrong with Tanya picking the next coach?
I mean, that silence says it all. That awkward pause says it all.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with Tanya Snyder?
You're the one with the awkward pause, not me. I mean, what's wrong with Tanya picking it? I mean, is it really worse than Dan Snyder? Have you seen Dan Snyder's track record? How about half the owners? Nobody picks a good coach.
Look, don't go to, well, what about over here? I'm talking about right here. Tanya Snyder, you do not want to put your franchise in her hands.
Picking coaches. She hasn't done it. You can't tell me.
Right.
You all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can't tell me that FedEx is the worst stadium. You've been to all the stadiums, right? You can't tell me you can't trust Tanya Snyder because why? Tell me why. She's not a coach yet.
I can tell you that. Yes. I can tell you that Tanya Snyder cannot pick GMs or coach or whatever to run a football organization. I don't know if that comes off as sexist or whatever, but it comes off as Tanya Snyder doesn't know the first thing about running football operations. I'm not saying Dan does. I'm just saying Tanya does not 100% for sure. So it's not going to happen this year, even in this offseason, unless it's catastrophic.
Well, yeah.
Although I think
which we are far from. Okay, right. Stoner, you kind of before you got off on bashing Tanya Snyder's coach picking skills here.
Yeah. Well, what about all the other stuff I said too? Though?
Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to get to. Stoner, you're just agreeing with me, right? Like this is kind of what you were saying with Rick Snyder, right? I've said that Ron Rivera reminds me of Allen from the late 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not the coach to take us to the Super Bowl.
Right.
He's the coach to get us right. Okay.
That's right.
And then we're going to find that one. And that's where I feel Rivera is. Are we winning championships under him? No. Did we get, obviously, with the losing record, did we get the NFC East? Yes. Okay. We had another poor record last year. This year is unknown.
But what I'm saying is that's not going to happen.
I've long said, and Trev, I know you're here with me on this one. I said that they can move on from Ron if the season does not go as planned. I'm not calling, please do not misunderstand me right now. I'm not calling for Ron's head right now. We are 3 games into the season. This season still has a long way to go.
Yeah.
But if this season ends up what, Trev? What do you think? What's a bad season for Ron Rivera that he goes?
7 wins or less.
If he finishes 7 and 10, Stoner, you can cut ties with him and move on. This is one of the things that in the NFL right now, not for long, right, is a thing. And with coaches, we're seeing that a good coach, like a legit good coach, can turn around a franchise within 3 years. Ron Rivera is in year 3. If the 3rd year in a row they end up 7 and 10, I think you have to change coaches.
You say that. Trev says that. I say that. About every single fan will say that, but I don't think Dan Snyder will say that. I don't think he's firing a guy with 2 years left. Again, who has spent these 3 years building he hired the general managers. He hired everybody on the football side, the scouts, the trainers, the assistant coaches, the staff of all these people. They're not going to fire all these people and start over with 2 years left on all of their contracts.
They might.
At 7 and 10. Although we all think they should.
This comment here from DMV Mess Hall, our friends out there, Tailgate Ted, Rally Captain. Coaching contracts are guaranteed.
That's right.
You can't see Snyder paying him 2 years to do nothing. Yeah, this is where when you're a cheapskate and when your organization, I mean, he's been making money, but honestly, he's been making money off of the league. He's not necessarily making money off of Washington. He's making money. He might not move on from, and you kind of saw this with Gruden. Like he kept Gruden for a while, and he kept Shanahan. And I feel like a lot of that was because he was moving through coaches a lot early in his tenure as the owner, and he wanted to change that mindset that people had around him. He wanted to be like, no, I can go through this. But again, coming back to it, if Ron Rivera can't turn this team around, and I think that honestly, he's been great for Washington. Okay, he's brought back some semblance of respect. Okay, maybe not on the field because they still get waxed on the field. I mean, how many games have we seen Washington down 20 points? How many times have they given up, double-digit points in the first half? Double-digit leads in the first half. So it's not like we've really improved on the field, but at least we're respectable, with him at the helm. That's why I'm saying he's Allen, right? He's right. He is going to be the guy to get us right, and then the next coach, or at least maybe there was actually 3 coaches after Allen that we had someone bring us to the promised land. That's what I'm saying. Steven, Steven, my man, what are you doing?
The point I'm trying to say is that if they fire Ron, they have to fire everybody because these are all Ron's people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, this is not the general manager, the president of football operations, and the general manager and all that were picked by the owner, and then they decide that Ron's gone. If Ron's gone, everybody's gone, and they're not paying 2-year contracts for 100 different people that are not working for them. He's not going to do it. He's just not going to do it unless it's catastrophic. So keep that in mind when you want to call for his head and they don't do it, that's probably a huge reason why. You got 2 GMs, 2 of them, and Ron picked both of them. Yep. If Ron goes, they go. All the staff goes. All those scouts go. All of those people are gone because they're all Ron's guys.
Those GMs have a somewhat decent record here in Washington. If you look at it, not great, but Jamin Davis still out to be seen right there. Love the comments in there right now. I shared several of those. And I'm going to talk about bona fides right here. Rivera is a football guy that brings respect we need. Our crappy owner gets the spotlight if he is gone. And there's a couple in there that talked about that, right? There, this is one of those things. Ron Rivera doesn't necessarily have to go. He still has JDR and Scott Turner as scapegoats, right? He can get rid of those and change those to say, no, we're gonna change something up and see if we can't get production. There is a lot of, and he's got the GMs. There's a lot of in there, especially on the coach centric. I'm just saying that we should not be afraid. We should not be afraid to pull an Arizona and get rid of Josh Rosen just because we drafted him the year before on a high draft pick, right? And move on. Okay. Rosen's not done much. We should not be afraid to get rid of Ron Rivera if we don't think he can improve this team. That's all I'm saying. Right, I think that there's still time to turn the season around, Stoner. I know, think
but Nathan, you're saying we shouldn't be afraid. Of course, we're not afraid. Me and you and Trev and everybody here who wants to fire him, if it comes to that point, we're not going to be afraid to voice our opinion. But Dan will be afraid. He will be afraid for a bunch of different reasons. You make a good point that we should not be afraid to get rid of him because he can't get us over the hump.
The organization shouldn't be afraid. Tanya.
Well, they will be.
Tanya shouldn't be afraid to make that call.
Tanya. Lord, don't get me started on that again.
My man, I don't know where you're going with that one, but definitely not agreeing with you right there. I agree here, P4. I don't think Ron's losing the locker room.
No, he isn't.
I think that he is a player's coach. I think the players really enjoy playing for him, and I think that there are other things in there that some people talk about COVID. Like we've talked about all the things that he's had to deal with, the cancer. He's had to deal with players' deaths and stuff like this. And
I call for coordinator's heads before his head anyway.
Sure. I would too. Let's get to Dalla.
Let's go ahead and get to some Dalla. This is our friendly prop bet. You don't actually have to put down money on this one. But if you do bet responsibly. And here, this is just an age-old tradition. If you're new to Ref the District, just know that Stoner and I have been friends. He actually was my boss, like almost more than a decade ago.
Yep.
And he used to do this dollar bets. We're continuing it here. Friendly. Trev is majorly in the hole. So let's get Trev out of the hole here. What's something that you got on this game? We talked about sacks. Where are we putting that line, Trev?
I say 4 sacks. 4 sacks.
No more than 4.
No more than 4.
For who?
I'm with you, Trev.
Dallas.
For Dallas.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get. They're just not gonna. They're not getting one.
We actually sack them more than they sack us. I got $1 on that.
I'm gonna go.
That's not bad.
I'm going to go against that one.
Okay, I'll go with you on that, Trev.
Hey, come with me.
All right. So the bet, and get in the comments here. What do you think about this one? Washington gets more sacks than Dallas. I'm going against that one. Trev and Stoner are on that. I don't see that happening. Joff, I'm going to go under 6 sacks here. I do really think 4 or less there. I love this stat from Metaphor. Jamin continues to one-up his sack totals. 1 in week 2, 2 in week 3, 3 sacks this week for Jamin Davis. What do you think on that one, gents?
I'll take 0. Anybody want to go over that?
I'll go over 0.
Okay.
I'll go over 0.
At least get 1.
And I'm going to laugh so hard when Stoner gets mad when Jamin Davis runs Cooper Rush out of the back.
I will not. I do not mind losing bets if it's positive for my team.
John agreeing with you guys. We get 5. They get 3. Nice. I like to see that. Jamin will have more sacks than Micah Parsons.
I mean, stop with this. It's crazy.
Micah Parsons 0 sacks last week. Jamin Davis 2.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey, guess what?
I get it.
Sign me up for that one.
He had one taken away. That's right. He had one taken away the game before last, right?
I'm not touching
Jamin Davis had one. Bonafide, we get 5, they get 4. A lot of people agreeing with you that Washington ends up with more sacks there. Joff and Commandalorian here with Washington having 2 picks. Washington was
like
right
that.
there on a lot of those plays.
Washington's
I
not
like
getting
that.
2 picks.
I gonna
It's
agree
Cooper
with
Rush.
Stoner on this one. No, but here's the thing, and this is
Not
why
gonna throw the
this is
ball
why I'm
out.
gonna go against this one. So Trev, you're with our viewers here.
Mhm.
Stoner and I are going to be against this one on the dollar bet. The reason why I'm against this, and I'm not trying to convince you to come to my side, Trev, but look at the way that they're coached. Okay, they're
Mhm.
coached to watch the player and punch that ball out to make sure that they can't catch it. They're not the one interception they have, and they've had very few turnovers in the last year and a half here. But the way that they're coached is not to turn around and they're not ball hawking. Okay, they're just trying to pass defend.
It's so annoying.
It can be, especially when you have Fuller being out jumped by Devontae Smith and
Outplayed.
AJ Brown. Absolutely, he was outplayed. John's going to go with 1 pick there. Jamin or Gus Bus saying Jamin doesn't have to go through a mad Schweitzer like Micah does this week.
I don't care how mad he is. He's still going through Schweitzer. Sorry, Gus. I know that's your guy.
Wow,
all right.
That's pretty bad here. The comedian here, 3 sacks by Parsons, 3 by Lawrence, 3 by Armstrong, the literal trifecta, and Gregory, pessimist pet, going with him. Agree with him, unfortunately. I hope you know, Greg, that is all in good luck.
Hey, Aaron Judge just hit 61 home runs.
Oh, nice.
Good for him.
We'll check that out later. So I'm going to go with Carson Wentz, at least 2 touchdown passes.
Oh, I'm with you. We're going to run it up.
I don't know if we're going to run it up, but I think we'll
get 27, 24.
I don't want to bet against that. That's the thing, right? Like, this is what you talk about, Stoner, right? I don't know that he's going to get there. I think because I picked 20-17, so that's 2 touchdowns, right, and a couple field goals. So I really feel like one of those is going to be on the ground. So I'm not going to go against you. I'm just going to abstain from this one.
You think Carson's going to get one on the ground?
Or Gibby?
Oh, okay.
All right. So I say Antonio Gibson over 100 yards of total offense.
From scrimmage, huh? Gibby?
Yep. Gibby goes over 100 combined.
I'm not going to go with that. I think him and Curtis will have up in the 70s each.
Yeah, I think Gibson is going to be under 100. Big Simple, thanks for joining us here. Yeah, a lot of people have picked the Commanders to win this. Granted, we're a little biased here, Burgundy of Gold podcast, but it happens. John says no on this one as well, Stoner.
So you guys are both going against it?
Yeah, I think that Gibby can have a good game, but I think he ends up just shy of 100. Okay, I do think I think he has a better rushing game than he has had in the last couple of weeks. He's been really bad running the last couple of weeks, but I do think that he can get some yards against Dallas. How often they use him in the pass game is going to be interesting. I think that they will actually, and this is what we can put $1 on this one, gents, that JD McKissick ends up with more receptions than Antonio Gibson.
Oh, yeah, I'll never bet that. That's his role.
Okay, well, you're the one who's saying 100 yards from scrimmage. That means he's got to get some passes in there.
Yeah, but he's not going to have more than JD McKissick.
All right. Doug's with you there. Gibby over 100. Once we'll find him instead of taking sacks.
Yeah,
I agree. And this is what we've been talking about here. There is, Kevin, we have a lot of optimism here. Do we hide Andre Norwell's roller skates? No, I think what it comes down to, Kevin, is that what we're looking at is Washington is going to try very hard this week to fix that offensive line, right? You're not going to see, one of the things we talked about on the day after reckoning was how consistent they were on the silent snap that they were forced into, which was Trey Turner looking back at Carson Wentz, looking forward and tapping Wes Schweitzer, who immediately would go 1,000 and snap. If you can plan like that, you're going to get 9 sacks. I think they're going to work on that kind of stuff. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game for Washington, but they will be better against the pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Gibby's going to fumble on Sunday.
No, he's not.
It's a Dallas. It just comes with the emotions.
Trev, Gibby fumbles. Lost fumble or
Yeah.
just fumble?
Yeah, lost fumble.
Okay. Got to make
Yeah,
sure.
I'll go against that.
Me too.
Appreciate Lucky Chuck. Yeah, we assumed the W meant that you pick Washington there. We will always side with the home team, with our team, when you don't pick a winner on there.
I say Terry McLaurin catches a pass on the first drive.
Oh,
Trev, remember last year we said we called it. We called the first one. It was play action, deep bomb to Terry McLaurin.
It was like way short,
and it was just way awful. It was so bad because you said it was a catch. I will bet the dollar.
Okay.
Mainly on several factors here. I love Terry. Okay, I love Terry. I have 2 Terry McLaurin jerseys, all right? Terry McLaurin has not been targeted until the third quarter in 2 of the last 3 games, right? Yeah. And then in the other game, he wasn't targeted until like mid of the second quarter. Yeah. They're not going after Terry. They're like, I don't know what it is, but they've been going a lot on Samuel. So I don't think Terry McLaurin gets there.
So now that's become a big deal. And now they're going to adjust.
And Terry McLaurin showed his worth, had that 100 yards here. Right. Make sure you get Big Simple's prediction in here. Washington 23-17. Appreciate that in there, Big Simple. Joff with Dallas, less than 50 yards rushing. Do you guys like that one?
No. Total? No. They'll get way over that.
No, I'm with it.
Less than 50 yards as a team?
Yeah, we held Philadelphia to 70
to 72.
They have a better rushing attack than Dallas does.
It's not wrong. I'm going to go with Stoner
50
on this one.
is like
that's pretty low. That's pretty low. But yeah. I'm gonna go with Stoner on this one.
We're gonna force Cooper to throw the ball.
They're definitely going to do that. They're definitely going to focus on stopping the run.
Do you guys think that they're going to go 3 and out in the first possession?
Us or Dallas?
No.
I don't think Washington's going to go 3 and out.
I think we do.
All right, Trev's with you there, Gregory. I will disagree. I think that I think they're going to get at least 1 first down. I'm not going to say they're going to score the ball. I would love to see that, especially because apparently the first drive might be all I watch before heading out to my kid's soccer game. But that's we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I agree with you, Gregory. Terry is the man. I bet highly on him for the season, and right now it's been a little bit disappointing.
All right, anybody got anything else? Any new ones?
Kevin here says, I like that, Stoner. They're going to be a force to feed Terry early because he's been targeted so late. Right now, he's the highest paid decoy in the league. Yeah, so agreeing with you there on that. Yeah. Scotty here, make sure you get in this Dallas 20, Commanders 20 at 10. You can ignore that one, actually. No, Scotty got it wrong here. You got it flipped. Scotty. You got it flipped, Scotty. Wow. By the way, salute to Aaron Judge here with the 61. So Metaphor going 61 plus receiving yards for each of Jahan Dotson,
come on,
Curtis Samuel, and Terry McLaurin.
Come on.
I love the shout out to Aaron Judge. I'm not with you, though, Metaphor. I'm not with you. That would be great if that happens. Washington clearly wins if that happens, right? That has to be a win.
I mean, I don't know. Josh Allen threw for 63 times and they lost.
That's true.
Joey Sly, at least 2 field goals made.
I think he misses one of those 2. Actually, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it.
Okay. I'm saying is he's going to make 2. I'm not saying he's going to be 2 for 2. Or
so that goes with my score. So I'd have to go with you here. So the no action on that one.
All right, so no action.
No action on that one. Big Simple, Terry McLaurin gets 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm going to go against that. I like the 100 yards. I don't think he gets the 2 touchdowns, though.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He got Trayvon Diggs on him. He got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs is going to get burnt. How many yards does Trayvon Diggs allow?
Over 100.
I don't think he is going to, actually.
Because he's going to clamp somebody down?
I just don't think they're going to have these long routes this week. They're just not going to have these, double moves that's going to burn him.
I'm with Trev here. More than 100 yards against Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go against that.
You'll go against that?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because they're going to beat him on a double. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to beat him on a double. It doesn't have to be a long pass, it just has to be a double move.
Well,
And
I know, but
Trayvon
you have
Diggs
to have
is-
time to do the double move,
True.
right?
We'll see how it
quarterback doesn't
goes.
have time.
I feel more confident about this game than I did against Detroit.
Ooh, I like this one, Gregory.
I
A little
do. I do
trickery in
too.
here. I do think this will be a lot closer. I felt the Detroit game we were going to win, but I said it wasn't going to come easy. I'm not saying this one's going to come easy, but I do feel like this one's going to be a lot closer than people feel it is.
And they're going to win 9 games.
Yeah, again, it's they're 1-2. If they win this game, they're 2-2. It's still too early to write them off.
And even if they lose this game, I'm still got them at 9 games. I guess unless it's like a 31-3 type game, they're still the worst part of their schedule is still to come. Okay, and you can say they're NFL teams. There are no bad teams or whatever. Okay, but it's better than playing the good teams.
Yep.
They're playing Chicago and Houston, and help me out here. Chicago, Houston. I mean, they're just not playing. Yeah, Atlanta, Minnesota, Tennessee, San Francisco. These are not world-beating teams. This is not. They're not playing Kansas City and Tampa Bay, and they are playing Green Bay. They're not playing Cincinnati. They're not playing the Rams, right? They're not playing all these heavyweights. They're playing a lighter schedule. They're going to win 9 games.
Yep.
I'm sticking by that until they lose a bunch in a row by terrible scores. I just believe there's too much talent on that offense.
Yeah,
I
agree, especially an offense that's been held at scoreless in 2 first halves here in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I think that they're going to turn this around here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that can do it is with Gregory's little trickery here. Curtis reverse handoff with a pass. Curtis Samuel throwing a pass. You guys like that one?
He's going to actually throw it?
Yeah.
Hell no.
I'm going to go against this, but I would take a trick play. You guys like a double reverse or something like that?
Sure.
You guys want to see a double reverse or something?
I'm going to say no trick plays.
No trick play. All right. Trev, you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Trev's with me here. We're going to see one trick play.
It
might not be Gregory's trick play, but we're going to see a trick play there. This is, that
for
one's
Washington.
Hotly. Yeah, for Washington. That one's going to get hotly contested.
Right.
Stoner's going to be like, it's not a trick play. It's like they lateraled 4 times. Stoner.
Yeah,
what do you mean it's not a trick play?
Is a bubble screen a trick play?
No.
Bubble screen wouldn't be a trick play. It's pretty standard there.
I'm just making sure that,
we had
like a fake one way and throw the other. That's not a trick play, right?
Not a trick play. Not a trick play. No. But if they do like a double handoff thing, I would count that as a trick play. Yeah.
Obviously a trick.
Once again, I would like to show the markers of all the bets made. Trev,
I just said the
Stoner,
trick play
Trev,
one.
Stoner, Trev, Stoner, Trev, Stoner, Trev.
No. I said the trick play one.
No, you asked. And then I said there will be no trick plays.
That's
then you took the opposite.
That's ticky-tacky.
You didn't say they're going to have a trick play.
Blocked field goal.
Will they have a trick play?
Will there be a blocked field goal in there?
Tell him, Trev.
Ticky-tacky.
He's right.
Ticky-tacky.
That is right.
Blocked field goal. Gents want to get on that. Blocked field goal.
There you go again. And I'm going to say yes, and he's going to say no, and he's going to say, I said blocked field goal.
I'm definitely not going with the blocked field goal. I don't think it happens. Stoner, are you saying yes?
No.
We're not gonna go with that one. Young is not playing. We probably won't see him until the Green Bay game. Metaphor, Holcomb gets a pick 6. You guys like that?
No, he's not.
Nope. Agree with this one, Gregory. Make sure you hit that like button if you have not already subscribed to the channel. We appreciate everybody jumping in here. DMV Mess Hall, I love these Football Outsider stats. My man, I used to subscribe to them religiously, especially when I did fantasy football, and it helped me win thousands of dollars on fantasy football. Great stuff there. Washington, not so highly loved in DVOA, but they did have a hard schedule, easier schedule coming. So we'll see what comes from that. Love everybody jumping in the chat here. We will have more dollar bets as the game goes live. We should have a fun time. Make sure you join us on Sunday where we will be streaming the live game there. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hey, don't forget here, you get 20% off with free shipping. Use the code REF at manscaped.com. We are now sponsored by them. We appreciate that as well. We really do enjoy the products. I'm telling you, I'm clean shaven and the wife loves it.
All right.
Okay, I didn't need to know that, but that's cool.
Absolutely loves it.
Cool.
Cool. All right, thanks for that.
So
Appreciate it.
all I'm saying is I'm a fan. And until next time,
Beat Dallas.
beat Dallas and be a fan.